Hey everyone, I'm Gus.
And I'm still Luke.
And sorry if we sound kind of dumb, we both have COVID. Luke, today we are going to be getting all the collectibles in the Callisto Protocol. There are 43 collectibles. Funny story, you only have to get 42 of them in order to unlock the achievement.
Oh.
I sincerely think that was a mistake made by the game developers. So this first collectible is like the first thing you can do in the game, right when you're aboard your ship. I don't even know what the ship's called. I played this game 4 times all the way through. No idea what your ship's called. But it is Jacob's little, his room is the first door on the left.
I think we should call a ship Jacob's Ladder then.
Ooh, that would be a great name for, we should write that down. There's a joke in there somewhere. This next one is right after you follow a security bot through the halls and you kind of hide from him and then he'll just leave. Honestly, if you just wait long enough, he'll leave and you don't have to worry about him. And then you have to go into that room when there's a gate fuse, and right next to the gate fuse is collectible number 2. This is, you kind of make your way back to the cell blocks after leaving for a while, and there's 3 enemies here. This is kind of like the first arena-ish, or maybe the first time you fight multiple opponents. And this is Elias's cell. You've been here before, just not inside of it.
Ooh.
I gotta tell you, all of these collectibles, very easy to get. Most of them you have to get, or at least on the way of the main storyline. This is right after Star Killer is pushed out of a window. This one's kind of easy to miss because you really want to like leave right after this. But if you go into the office where Star Killer was, you can pick up his collectible.
His log is on his transformation.
Yep. This is the first time we learn about collectibles that are attached to dead bodies. You're going to see this robot freaking out, and we just came from that vent. There's a couple guys down here you have to kill, but you do have to pick this one up. It is part of the main storyline, so you can't really miss this one.
It's kind of nice.
But most of the collectibles are going to be inside of dead people from now on, so we have to organically harvest them, farm to table bioses from human skulls to your plates.
Yeah, you think we would have developed an easy way to copy that data instead of just yanking it out.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go on a rant. I'm going to stop explaining where things are real quick, and I'm just going to rant about this game. Okay, there's a technology in this universe where you can share your, not only memories, but your consciousness. You can share the very essence of what it means to be you. People can divine your emotions and intentions with this technology. And we give it to prisoners on a moon of Jupiter. It also allows them to communicate with each other. This is insane. This is insanity. Anyways, this is the laundry room. The good marker is kind of the laundry bags that float by. And then there's a fork in the road. If you go to the right, there is just this little side room down here. It's got some supplies and our next BIOS in it. And then when we come back to it, and then go back to the fork in the road and take a left, we are going to find our first secret room of the game.
Secret?
There are 2 secret rooms in the game. They're not necessarily hard to find. They're probably the most hidden things in the game, but this game really doesn't have that many hidden things in it. So you come down here. This is not part of the main storyline. You do need to follow this. You're going to come into this room, and there's a little vent here on the right, and we need to crawl through the vent. And it takes a while. It's a pretty long vent ride. This is 300%. And then once you drop out of the vent, there's really only one way to go. You're going to wind down and around through like this kind of like concrete structure. But again, you can't get lost. There's really only one way to go. And then you will find a secret Illuminati meeting room. And,
I like to think this room is one that, caused our insanity in some regards. And since we talked about it, we're getting another room down the road here, too.
So you think Jacob's okay, but these rooms...
I think they're all in his head.
Wow, okay. Yep. All right, hot take. That is more interesting. That's a more interesting take than anything that's actually happened in this game. So you just squeeze past these doors, some lovely decor on the walls, and you won't get an achievement for this one, but you will get an achievement after finding the next secret room, but there's also a BIOS in here, so we have to come here.
Yeah, a little loot in there, too.
Also, it's important to note that those rooms should count across multiple playthroughs. Mine didn't. I found the second one, and then I went back and I got that first one, and my achievement didn't unlock until I got both rooms in one playthrough. So I don't know if that's just a meme or a myth, but you might as well just get both in a single playthrough. So that last one you saw is part of the main story. You have to walk over that dead body. Also, this is too. This is right after getting the grip. It's going to teach you how to use it. You'll have to kill some enemies, and then we would need to go through this med observation door. I don't think this is part of the main story anymore. I think this is a little bit of a tangent. But in this room where everyone's just hanging out, there is a BIOS attached to this guy who's not hanging out. His vibes are off. He's not chilling. So we have to take his BIOS from him.
We had to cut him off.
This is like a basement section of the game. It's pretty recognizable. I think it's called the D4 basement level. You'll recognize the giant spinning fan, and everything's kind of on fire too. And then we just need to make our way behind that fan. And oh yeah, look at that, the D4 basement.
Oh.
You just need to make your way behind this fan, and there's another dead guy who's not using his neck, so we will take it from him.
Yeah, he's not collecting anymore.
No, Kenny Brown. Sorry, Kenny. So this is a very recognizable room in the game. This is probably like the first difficult part of the game. You're going to activate those 2 gate fuses, and then every surface of this level is going to be turned into an environmental hazard. But if you come up here, which I think you do have to do, there's a BIOS on this. Yeah, you do have to come up here. But don't forget this guy.
Grab your BIOSes. Gotta stay healthy.
Tat. That's too many consonants next to each other. So you're going to make it to the shoe, and someone's going to pull the old switcheroo on you. But in this cell that you have to end up in, there is a BIOS for Danny Nakamura, a.k.a. my future wife.
Who just betrayed us.
Yes. Well, she kind of always betrays you.
Yeah,
kind of.
fresh betrayal in her mind after that last collectible.
Oh boy, welcome to the sewer level! Okay, so this is like right when you start seeing Elias's hologram for some, again, part of the forbidden technology. But if you climb up on this box, there's a supply chest and a BIOS. This is, I think, the first time we meet the Rusher, which is the invisible enemy. You come to this room where we're going to have to plug in 2 gate fuses. It's kind of like a circular room with a cross in the middle. But in this far right corner, next to this door that we ultimately want to go through, there is a BIOS.
Yep, he was like, I wish I could open this door with my BIOS, so I will die here.
But old Bruno didn't quite make it,
Oh,
did he?
no.
That's a shame. Okay, so eventually you will come to the water control room. This is where the game wants you to go. We're not going to go through here yet. We're going to keep going around this catwalk, and we're going to make it into the storage hall, where there are quite a few goodies waiting for us. So you walk through this hallway. There are definitely some bad guys in here, and the best part is their body parts float in midair. I just thought that was kind of funny. But you'll come through here, and there will not be a gate fuse in there. Instead, you have to rip it out and put it in here, and this door will unlock. Mine's in reverse order because I already did it, and you can't reverse it again. But when you do it, this door will unlock, and then something about pressure equalization has to happen. I don't know. And there's a BIOS in here next to a headless doctor, J Moonbell. So this part, again, is part of the story. You learn about mutated biophages. Biophages?
And you know, I think it's biophages.
Biophages. And you specifically have to get this BIOS to unlock a door. So you can't miss this one, but I thought I would include it because why not?
And you know, it's nice that they wrote that message to us above it too.
Right,
shooting
very
tentacles.
Convenient. I'm so glad that guy in his dying moments was all like, let me dip my fingers into my own bleeding stomach and then write a helpful message on the wall. So you're going to come to this like habitation tower type thing. There's 2 ways to go, left and right. You do not have to go left, but we are going to go left because there is a BIOS down here.
All the way down here.
All the way down and around. There's also a schematic for a gun in here, but I only believe in the written word of the skunk pistol. So I don't touch... Oh, wait, that is the skunk gun. Never mind, pick that up. That is the holy written word. Okay, so again, at this intersection, now we go right. This is how you progress through the main story. And again, this BIOS is also like key to a door. You have to get this one.
That's kind of nice, you know? Like, it should be more of that case.
Sure. I would say, like, if you naturally played this game, you would probably get 80% of the BIOSes, like, without even trying. And the remaining 20% aren't even difficult, but you just kind of need to know where they're at.
Gotta look around a wee bit.
Yeah. A rusher does attack you while you're in this room, but you know, you're strong. You've been doing your push-ups. I bet you can take them.
You hit him with your baton and get a home run.
Yeah. I love how your main weapon is just like a stick.
Yeah. And my gripe is that even when I've upgraded the damage 3 times, it never looks any cooler.
Well,
give me some licking flames on that baby.
The electricity color changes.
Well,
It goes from white to yellow to red.
Yeah, but I want like some sick flames painted on it.
Look, that maybe sounded like I was defending this game. No, big L there, Callisto Protocol. I guess the guns kind of get upgraded when you upgrade them.
That is true.
But the grip, the stun baton, nothing else. Okay, so this is, we've left the habitation tower. This is the utility tower now, I think is what it just said. And if you take a left here, there's a lot of bad guys down here. And there's no environmental kills. So you really just gotta take these guys one at a time. But when you do, at the very end, over all these obstacles in the very back is another BIOS.
Our reward. Evacuation.
Oh, Kyle. You think Kyle made it out?
I don't think so.
I didn't read any of the BIOSes. So this is roughly halfway through the game. We're going to be outside, and you'll have your slick new spacesuit. This is right after Elias departs this mortal realm, R.I.P.
Our best friendo.
The game wants you to go through the right door, the C2 door that was just there. But if you go all the way to the back, to this little shack on the left, there is another BIOS and some health waiting for you back here. Miranda Kristovich.
Just back in this little hut, you know. If you think about it, after all the stuff that happens to this planet, people are living in cold huts in the middle of the mining towers. Maybe turning into an alien isn't the worst thing.
Yeah, maybe that's not the worst way to go. So this is another big arena where a lot of zombies kind of pop up, and you kind of have to, like, it's a little bit of wave defense, but this door, I think you might need this BIOS. I think it's another key. But if it's not, make sure you go to this door that's on the right in this big arena area before you go through the door that's on the left in this big arena area.
Before we go to the double arena.
So this is a portion of the game where you're kind of back inside. You do have to crawl through this area, and it kind of comes to this fork in the road. Straight doesn't take you anywhere, and left takes you into this very small side room, and then right is the way that the game wants you to go. It's a Caitlin Marr BIOS. She's I think she's an important person in this game.
A famous singer in the Callisto.
Yeah. So this is where you meet up with Danny, and she gives you the riot shotgun. Again, you have to come this way. But in the corner of this room where you activate a computer is a sleeping man. You need to wake him up.
Yep, wake him up. It's time to go collect some pogs.
Lieutenant Devon. Devon? Devon.
Lieutenant Devon.
Devon. He was good looking, man. What am I looking at here? Again, this is one you have to get. There's a man stuck in a turbine, and when you get his BIOS, it activates the turbine, which kind of activates the rest of the level. So, unmissable, my friends. There's also a CPU printer behind him. I think that's what I just saw. Worth $1,000. Those things
start making some money.
Yeah, a lot of liquidating of assets in this game. So Danny will take you back to Jacob's ladder, and this time, instead of going to Jacob's room, we will go to Max's room. Is that the
our
name
other
of the
best friendo that we definitely remember?
I totally remember his name, but now his room is unlocked. The second door on the left. Max Barrow, and now we know. Max needs to borrow a personality, because boy was he forgettable. You and Danny will leave Jacob's ladder, and you'll enter this hangar. This is right before you get to like the spaceport. And in the back of this truck is just BIOS. Oh gosh, this is probably what, BIOS 30, 28, something like that.
He was hoping to transport that BIOS out of there.
Sorry, Scott, not today. So this is very shortly after that. Danny's gonna lead you through the docks some more, and you're gonna see a bunch of robots, all like Skynet. I am not worried. Skynet cannot organize.
Yeah, some of these robots look like they accidentally had a firecracker set off and was just like, I'm inoperable.
You know,
now.
it's funny because like I feel like a lot of money got poured into them, and their only weakness is bullets to their head.
Yeah,
which I don't know. If I was making giant killer robots, that might be something I'd try and
maybe
avoid.
Bulletproof could have been on the list there.
So you will split up with Danny. You have to come this way. But this is right before this is actually right after the blind get introduced. But there is a field log next to this "Don't make a sound" in a room where "Don't make a sound" was also written. I wonder if we should make a bunch of sound.
Yeah, at least they used paint. The other guy used blood. Come on. Right.
Much more hygienic. Again, you have to come this way. And once you go up these stairs, the game wants you to go to the right. But if you take a left, there's a sneaky little BIOS sitting right here.
Oh, next to a wall of spikes.
What would your final message to this world be during a zombie apocalypse?
I would probably leave behind a message of what it was like before the zombocalypse. The simpler times.
Right.
I'd leave like a historical
You used to
record.
just play video games about the zombie apocalypse, and now you're living one.
Yep. What about you?
Same. So the game, you come by here. There's a long tunnel that you have to go down. Kind of easy to miss, but there's a giant light above it, so maybe it's not that easy to miss. And then when you're trying to restart all the reactors, you're going to find this ladder. And we are going to go into our second secret room of the game. We will be getting an achievement. And I looked it up right before we started filming this video, and I forget what it's called. But hey, just follow this and we'll find out together. You'll see that like hobo symbol next to the wall. The game wants you to go right, but if we go straight at the top of the ladder and shimmy through that crack, we will come back here into this cave. This looks complicated and it is a little dark, but there is only one way you can go. So when you drop down again into this room. And there's a bunch of bad guys down here. I think there's 3 all together. But through the magic of editing, there's actually 0 bad guys. So be on the lookout for those guys. But then at the end of this long, disgusting pimple hallway, you will see another Illuminati board meeting room. And walking into the room about halfway through, you will get an achievement.
Quite a hefty one. I believe this was 50 gamer score, too. I think
it's 50 big ones.
That feels nice.
Oh, yeah. You can kind of see it through the crack in the door, but you got to take a right through this hole in the wall.
You're sneaking up on this.
I thought there was one more bad guy,
gotcha.
But actually there's just a leech in here. This guy will attack you, so shoot him.
Freaking leeches.
Hate him. But this one has a lot more material than the last one, and it has a 50 gamer score, the Commonality achievement waiting for us. And then you just leave essentially the same way. You'll see a staircase when you start to leave.
Woo!
This is right after starting the lift, and you fight the 2-head boss, mini boss.
Yeah, I'd say he's like a
new
boss.
Bad guy. I don't know. And you have to come this way. This one is very hard to miss, but there's a toasty boy waiting for you down here, and that will end chapter 6. I think that was chapter 6.
Trucking right along.
Now we're on to chapter 7. This is the beginning of the level. You start on this little walkway, and again, very hard to miss. There's a guy right here.
Oh.
Two BIOSes back to back. Biodes?
Do you think they were BIOS brothers?
Ooh, did they ever touch BIOSes? I don't know. That's a good question. So you're trying to meet up with Danny again, and she will point out this kind of large radio tower. And if you take a left into this like cargo container house, this shanty, back and to the left on this shelf is miner log number 2. I'm sure he was above the age of majority. I don't know why they called him a minor, but hey, it is what it is. And then you will be in Lowtown. There will be this nifty ladder to Midtown. Again, you do have to come this way. I feel like I should probably stop saying that. But down here, just to the right of the ladder, you don't have to come this way. Go into this room, and there will be a blind guy waiting for you in here, but they're pretty easy to kill. But he is guarding a BIOS and a pristine energy converter.
Ooh.
What do you think the energy converters convert energy into or convert it from?
I like to think that it takes Callisto bucks and converts it into glizzies.
Smart. You know, on the moon of Jupiter, I bet you there aren't a lot of hot dogs. So that's what they
We
need them
need
for.
pure Glizzard energy.
So you will activate a elevator, and at the top of the elevator, there's this dead body. Again, you have to come this way.
Yeah,
you will
can
walk
only not get this achievement if you just purposefully
you
don't
have
get
to
these.
step on this dead body, so you might as well pick it up. And then we are entering Hightown, where it's 4:20 all the time, and everyone stays blazed. And at the top of the staircase, jeez, I've been in Hightown a little too long. To the right, there is a BIOS. There's quite a few bad guys up here. I've already killed them all. You haven't, because you're not as good as me. So be on the lookout for all these bad guys.
Sneak around, stab them, steal their BIOSes too.
So this is to the rooftop. You got a gate fuse to unlock this door. Again, you have to come this way. There's a reforger in here. And lots of material. And another BIOS.
Hey,
Weird how I'm showing where all the BIOSes are. It's
Just
weird how that happens.
knocking them out.
I fucking hate this part so much. I'm not gonna spoil anything. You and Danny reunite, you fight a guy, and then you ride this elevator up. This is right before the end of the chapter, so make sure you get this one. Disagreement from Duncan Cole. What do you think he disagreed about?
I disagree on where the story is headed.
Yeah, you disagreed on someone if this is a good game or not. So you get thrown back in prison. Again, I hate this part so much. But you will immediately get out of prison, and then behind your little prison, well, maybe not yours specifically, but behind this row of prisons, there's two-way glass, and then there's a BIOS on the last desk. And now we will heroically be charging through the psych ward. The game wants you to go down there, but if you hang a left down here, and you do have to crawl through this vent, I've already done it, and I've unlocked this door. Again, you're not as good at me as me, maybe with speaking, but not at video games. So you will have to crawl through the vent. And then at the end of this hallway, mostly up this flight of stairs, there's another BIOS. Again, lots of bad guys down here. I think there is a rusher, an invisible guy down here, so be on your best behavior. And this is where, if you've been following the guide, you will get the achievement for finding 42 of the 43 collectibles. Caitlin Mara, the doctor, will invite you into her doctor headquarters. And just right through these doors where all the dead bodies are is our final collectible.
Oh, okay.
So again, if you missed one, you can get this last one, and I'm pretty sure you will still get the achievement. All you have to do is get 42 BIOSes, and there's 43 in the game. So someone doesn't know how to count.
Well, they wanted to give you a free one just in case.
This is essentially the last room before the final boss fight. And you'll kind of come to this opulent kind of office with lots of display cases, and then Cole's Triumph is on the left. And that's us. We are Cole, and we just triumphed. Because we got a 150 gamer score in this. Pretty cool. Luke, you know what's cooler than a 150 gamer score?
What's that?
1,000 gamer score. And if you need help getting any achievement in this game, which you probably don't, it's a pretty simple game. But if you do, we wrote the guide on true achievements on how to 100% this game. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and check that out. We would be happy to have your eyeballs on that. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you could leave them in the comments below. What's another thing they could do?
They could like this video.
That I would like that. I would like it if you liked this.
Amen, brother.